Hello everyone. Hope you're all doing well. Welcome to today's webinar on the topic Cybersecurity 101, protecting yourself from online fraud, led by our senior trainer and cybersecurity analyst Swapnil Khandekar. In this webinar, we'll guide you to understand the threats and arming yourself with invaluable knowledge. So, without any further ado, I request Swapnil Khandekar to kindly take over. Over to you, Swapnil.
Okay, thank you, Pratik, for this warm welcome. So, as we are all aware, the presence of digital era is becoming a day-to-day activity in our life, and all the transactions and all the tasks what we are doing, we are more dependent. Well, the digital transaction and the technologies that is mainly being used with the help of mobile or internet. So in this new digital era, it will become a crucial to be aware of different frauds which are going on. In this series, we are going to cover different frauds on regular basis. We are going to take it and we are going to explain the different frauds, how it is being taken by the attackers and the criminals and fraudsters, and then how you can safeguard yourself from these kinds of fraud in future. So the safeguarding part is most crucial, and that is what we are looking for here. So we can be more secure towards the attacks and all. So in today's webinar, we are going to cover frauds related to Aadhar card, the Aadhar number. On that, what different frauds is being carried out by different fraudsters and scammers, and how you can secure your identity over the internet, digital identity, how you can secure your digital identity. That's what we are going to cover in this today's session. So agenda for this webinar is like introduction to Aadhar number, because some key features are there that we are going to introduce. What different services has been provided by the Aadhar, what type of frauds can be carried out with the help of Aadhar card or Aadhar number, and what would be the preventive measures so we can safeguard this type of incident in future on our day-to-day basis. So Aadhar is India's own uh, identity, its own digital identity number. It's not sorry. It's not the citizenship number, it's just the identity number, which provides the identity on the basis of your biometric authentication. It's a biometric authentication number which holds your details like your birth details, your name, spouse details, your parents' details, your address, and your biometric scans like iris scan and fingerprint scan. On that basis, usually a differentiation between two particular persons has been carried out. So these information has been uh, introduced in terms of Aadhar number. It's a 12-digit unique identity number for all Indian citizens. It contains the demographic data of all Indian citizens, like which we have already told, like iris scans, fingerprints, and photograph. Now, this is just Aadhaar sample in which you will find certain information which is are changeable for person to person, and the newer era cards has been evolved, so you will start getting the scanning codes. When this Aadhaar number has been started, that time this QR scan was not there. Now it has been introduced. Now the VID, virtual IDs, has been introduced. That is also been placed, and the Aadhaar 12-digit Aadhaar number is also been provided, which has been divided into block of 3, and that is like how Aadhaar is look like. So why it is essential to know about the virtual IDs and all? Because it's help to save you from different attacks and all, which we are going to cover later, like how it can be saved, your identity over the internet. So Aadhaar link services, which is mainly been used by our customers on day-to-day basis, is Aadhaar enable payment system. KYCs, and Aadhaar-based loans. So this Aadhaar-based loans, KYCs, and payment system is being used by the fraudsters to carry out this scam with an individual. Now, Aadhaar-based frauds, there are some categories. We have divided in these frauds in 4 categories, like identity theft, fake Aadhaar card generation, SIM card frauds, banking and financial frauds. When we talk about identity theft, is like your Aadhaar is what? It's your digital identity. Identity theft is like if your digital identity has been spoofed or it is being leaked over the internet, so anyone can assume your role over it. So for that, what we have to do and how we can safeguard it, that we can define with the help of identity theft. Okay. Fake Aadhaar card generation, there are lots of cases has been recorded where fake Aadhaar, with the help of these Aadhaar, the authorization centers have been created for a lot of people. So this is something which, as an individual citizen, we will not able to do anything to safeguard it, because that is something come under the jurisdiction or restrictions of government and police department. They have to take uh, they have to take the responsibility for that, and they have to take the measures to avoid no one should able to generate a fake Aadhaar card for any person. Like, so usually this fake Aadhaar cards and all, how it has been carried out, they has been carried out with the help of identity theft, like someone else photo is there, someone else details has been here, they have club together and they generate a fake Aadhaar card for that person by creating a fake PAN card and different documents. With the help of that, this thing has been carried out. SIM card frauds is like SIM swapping techniques has been used, or fake SIM registration with your Aadhaar number and all will be carried out. That is the SIM card frauds has been going on nowadays, and we are going to talk about that in detail in later slides. Banking and financial frauds, like where OTP scams and with the help of Aadhaar link payment system, they will initiate the transaction from your account without your knowledge. They can apply for loans. They can apply for any third-party loan, Aadhaar-based loans, or any like with the help of these new fintech companies and all. There we just need to provide the Aadhaar number and OTPs which has been generated, and a loan has been created. So that kind of a frauds can be taken out with the help of Aadhaar card. So that we are going to cover in detail, and how you can safeguard from these fraud. That is also we are going to cover. So, SIM card frauds, how it has been carried out, there has been divided into 2 to 3 categories. One is new SIM scam, in which scammer will register a new SIM card on your Aadhaar number with the help of operators. And once he got the a SIM card with a new number allocated to it, he will use that SIM card to carried out different types of crime like extortion, harassment, or any, he can carried out any unethical tasks with the help of that. He can create a new identity with the help of that new SIM card, like by creating a forged Aadhaar number and then forged Aadhaar number, forged identity, and with this new forged SIM card, he can assume someone as some other person's identity, and then he can carry out anything, like he can purchase a property, uh, he can apply for loans, he can do any kind of task. So that is something which can be happen with the help of new SIM scam, in which they are using your Aadhaar number generate uh, to carry it out a new SIM cards for them, and then they can get that. So if any police department or any department is trying to trace him back with whom this SIM has been registered, to trace that particular person, it will lead you to your location, like, because SIM has been registered on your uh, name and your address has been used for that. So we do have a techniques to avoid such things, like on the regular basis, you need to check, right? You need to, on the regular basis, you need to check like, is there unwanted SIM number has been registered with your Aadhaar or not? Okay, that we will cover later, like how you can safeguard it from this stuff. Second technique is SIM swapping, like in which what they will do is they will uh, pretend like it's you, and they will try to sniff your identity, and they will try to register a new, not, they will try to allocate a new SIM with your old number, which is usually been attached with your banking system and financial services. So once they got the number which is registered in your banks and all, and they are able to generate a new, they were able to allocate a new SIM that is also been carried out with the help of Aadhaar. Like what they usually do is they will call the operator and sorry, they will call the operator, and they will say like, I have lost my SIM, please reallocate it. And somehow they will try to lure the operators for that. And when the operator is trying to verify your identity, like with whom this SIM is registered, they will give you the Aadhaar details and all other information. Once it is done, then they will get a SIM card which is usually been used by you, and now it has been allocated with them. So they will take the access of that SIM card, and they will carry out any kind of a UPI transactions from your, because your SIM has been cloned and now it has been available with them. So they can carry out such kind of time. So this is what a SIM swapping technique is nowadays is being used by the fraudsters. Identity theft. Identity theft. What is identity theft? Identity theft is criminal may steal an individual Aadhaar card or obtain their Aadhaar number, and it has been used to impersonate them by accessing various services and benefit for the legitimate holder. Okay, so what services? What they will try to do is they will try to obtain a third-party services like hospitality, like they will whenever we uh, while we are traveling, we need to provide identity proof. So they will use your Aadhaar for that purpose. If they are staying at some hotel or any location, so they will give that forged identity, because in these locations, they are not verifying it, the Aadhaar card by scanning your fingerprints and OTP. They are just taking the copy of your Aadhaar. So it will become, once they got the access of your Aadhaar information and all Aadhaar number, so what they will do is they will just change the photo of it and generate a printout of it, and that information they can use it to carry it out identity theft card and all. They can, if your Aadhaar number has been lost and it's been leaked over the internet, they can allocate the SIM, like SIM swapping techniques can be used it, like that is what can be used. They can use this for okay. They can use your identity to book flights, train tickets, bus tickets, reservations. So they are actually traveling on your identity, because everywhere, uh, whenever we are providing identity as an Aadhaar card as an identity, they can we can forge the photo inside that, and that means we are assuming your identity. No one is verifying by scanning your uh, uh, fingerprints or scanning your iris or taking a OTP and all. They are just verifying with the help of that printed information which is available. So that will come under identity theft. It is can be used for lease agreements also. Like if you have the SIM, that means you are getting the OTPs. If you have the Aadhaar card, that means you have assumed his identity. So it will become easy to obtain a lease agreement for this purpose. So everything is been done on your identity, but you is not been aware of that. Okay. So that is what a identity theft will happen if this type of a attack has been performed over you. Uh, Banking and financial frauds is like Aadhar card nowadays, or Aadhar number, is it's become mandatory in India to link your bank accounts and financial services for verification purpose or for authentication purpose with the Aadhar number. So fraudster can misuse this information to carry out the financial fraud, like unauthorized transaction, unauthorized bank account on someone else's name. They will try to open a bank account on your name. They will try to do the unauthorized transaction in your ongoing banking services, or they will try to uh, get unauthorized loan on your scam. So in this category, we have 4 to 5 different types of frauds are there, like Aadhaar-based payment fraud, loan on your behalf, forged bank account, OTP scam for unauthorized transaction, KYC scam. Like in Aadhaar-based payment system, if we check the records in last year, 2,000 people's Aadhaar card has been biometrics has been disclosed, and with the help of that biometric in Bangalore, they have initiated a transaction of crores. They have siphoned off their accounts of 2,000 people, and they have accumulated crores of uh, uh, crores and crores of monetary gains from that. So how it has been possible? Because Aadhaar have this feature, we call as Aadhaar linked payment system. So with the help of fingerprint scan or with the help of iris scan, you can initiate a transaction from your account without knowing your account number and OTPs and all other information. So what they have done is they have cloned the fingerprints, and with the help of that, they have initiated this task. uh, Loan on your behalf with the help of Aadhaar number, and if they have access to the OTPs and all, they can initiate a loan on your behalf. Like loan will be reflected in your CIBIL or in your credit history, but it has been applied by them, and they have all the loan amount within their accounts, and you have to pay the response. Otherwise, the court summons and bank notice will be generated on your behalf for you. That is what is nowadays also been going on. Forged bank accounts is also been used, like they can generate an account on your behalf, and they can create an account with your name and all your identity, and they can carry out the transactions, like forged transaction on this account. So whenever uh, NPCI or police department try to trace back, like unauthorized transaction has been going on, to which account it has been going on, so it will reflect like it's your account, but actually it has been generated. This account has been created by the uh, fraudsters, scammers. Same goes for the OTP scans, like for transactions and all. They will try to call you. While calling, they will try to obtain the OTPs for unauthorized transactions and KYC scams. So this OTP and KYC scams has somehow been linked. So nowadays, these banking applications become so robust, so it will become difficult to carry out the OTP scams and KYC scam. But in India, there is India Post is there, which provide Indian postal banking system and services. So what these guys are doing is just this is a case study which is presently going on. Uh, what this fraudster will do is they will call you and they will ask you, like, your KYC has been expired in Indian banking system, Indian postal bank payment system, and they will say like you have to submit the document in the post office. Okay. And what they will say is you need to submit the document in a post office which is not near to you. It can be the state, what we call capital. In that, you have to come and you need to submit. So if you say like, okay, I will submit it, it's fine. If you say no, it's very fine. It's very distance is very high, and it's very not feasible for me to submit that and all. Should I submit to my local post office? They will strictly say no, it will not be submitted in that and all. So what they will suggest is like, okay, if you are not coming, we can initiate your KYC from here. Just one OTP will come, share that OTP with us, so the KYC will be carried out. So what they actually do is they will download the application that is a banking system, Indian Post banking system application, and they will ask for your reference number, CIF number, by verifying like, okay, we want to submit the KYC, so we should know your CIF number. If you give your CIF number, one OTP will be generated, and when you provide that OTP, what will happen is they have initiated a online services in your bank payment system application. And now that they have a access of that application, they can see all the records, they can see all the transactions, they can initiate the transaction. Then once they have, then they will say like, just to verify, sir, like this much amount is there in your account. Please verify it and please provide one more OTP. If you are not providing OTP, then your account will be blocked. Now you will be in the confidence like, okay, how this guy know the account details, account number, and how much credit is there in my account, and so on. So they will try to take a confidence of you, your confidence, and once you are in their confidence, they will uh, start forcing you to provide OTP. So once the OTP has been provided to, again, the second OTP, if you provide them, they will start the recurring transaction in your account. Means on regular basis, some transaction will be carried out from your bank. So that is a new scam has been going on, the latest one, which you can track it over the internet and all. So, okay, now fake Aadhar generation, they can be obtained for hospitality, SIM allocation, flight tickets, book reservation, lease agreement, and banking account document. They will forge and manipulate the document to establish the false identity and to engage in the illegal activities. In this thing, as an individual citizen, we will not able to do anything. What we supposed to do and what we can do is, we whenever we go for any transactions and all, whenever we apply for any anywhere and documents we need to we are providing. So we are providing our documents like Aadhar card and PAN cards and all. So what we have to do in that case is we should provide the masked documents. So I will explain later what is the masked document is there. That is what we can do, and especially we need to mention over the document like this is specially been allocated for this purpose. Apart from that, this information should not be obtained. We have to write it on that document. And that is what we can only do in this case. Now, what will be the preventive measures? So first preventive measure is to avoid the identity theft and the misuse of your Aadhar number for any kind of a OTP scam, banking scam, or bank registration and all. You should start using the virtual IDs instead of using the actual Aadhar number. So what you have to do is you can go to the UID website, UIDI website, or you can download the mobile Aadhar application. Inside that, register your Aadhar number, and then you will got a option called generate a virtual ID. You need to generate a virtual ID. Once a virtual ID has been generated, then there is another option, lock your Aadhar number. Once a virtual ID has been generated, then you need to click on lock your Aadhar number. Now your Aadhar number is being logged. No one will able to use your Aadhar number for SIM allocation, loan allocation, lease agreement. So your Aadhar will not be used as a identity proof. So whenever you want to submit identity proof on any application for applying any identity as Aadhar, like opening a bank account and all, what you have to do is in that case, you just need to provide the virtual IDs. Virtual IDs are available. So you need to provide the virtual ID. Once that task has been generated, then you have to again go to the Aadhar app or UID and you need to generate a new virtual ID. So every time you have to generate a new virtual ID to carry out the task. Why? Because if that task has been completed and you have generated a new virtual ID again, the old virtual ID will be null and void. So if somehow attacker, spammer got the access of the virtual ID, they will not able to do anything because you have decoupled it with your Aadhar number. And with the help of virtual ID, it is impossible to trace back the actual Aadhar number. So it has a very secure way to provide your identity details to all the locations wherever you want. Just start using the virtual IDs for it. Now, how the virtual ID has been look like, whenever you generate a virtual ID, you will got a message on your phone or in your application. This is your new virtual ID that you need to provide. Whenever you generate a virtual ID, you can download a new Aadhar card from there. And when you download the Aadhar card, you will find like this VID and this characters. 16-digit characters are there. This 16-digit character is the virtual ID that you need to be used. And this is a changeable regenerative ID is there, which has been generated every time. So it will become difficult because randomizedly it has been generated. And when it has been generated, it is linked with your Aadhar number. With the help of VID, no one can take access of your Aadhar number. What is the actual? So reverse engineering is not been possible. Once you decoupled it, it is of no use. Okay. Second preventive measure you can do is to avoid any kind of a SIM allocation or Aadhaar linked payment system allocation initialization. To avoid that is lock your biometrics in your Aadhar app and UID application. Just log in there and there is an option called biometric lock. If you lock your biometrics, no one will able to initiate any transaction or any kind of a verification with the help of your uh, fingerprint and iris scan. So unauthorized KYC verification, financial service subscription can be avoided with the help of that, because if your fingerprints database has been leaked somewhere, no one, if they cloned it, still they will not able to carry out the transaction because you have logged that feature. And whenever you want to carry out this thing, you just need to enable it, and it will be only enabled for 10 minutes of period. Automatically it has been locked. Temporary enable and disable feature is available that you have to use if you really want to use the biometrics for KYC verification. So for that purpose, you can use it. Otherwise, OTP base is best to use. Okay, that is how it looks like when you log in this website. You will find like when you click on login, then it will say biometric has been logged successfully. It's now no biometric will be for your behalf. Then to check like how many SIM has been allocated, is there any forged loan has been taken on your account, is there any bank account has been restated with your Aadhar card, and so this information, you can monitor the history of your Aadhar authentication. Means whenever a bank account, lease agreement, uh, financial transaction has been happened with your Aadhar card, know your bank or loan has been taken. So it will generate a authentication to the Aadhar card. It will create a parameter to authenticate yourself over the UIDI website or their database. So what you have to do is you can go to UIDI website or mobile application. From there, you can check the authentication history, like who have called your on regular basis, who have called your Aadhar card for verification. So from there, you will be aware like wherever you have applied for the services, so you will be aware like these are the services on that day, on this date I have applied. If you find any forged entry, if you find an entry which is not you are aware of, just report that entry. That means someone has used your details for authentication purpose. So that is one more thing you can do on regular basis. You can monitor the Aadhar history. When you go to the application, you will find this authentication history, or if you logged in on your Aadhar through the website, there also you will find that information. And this kind of history is been generated, like OTP has been generated, or a demographic changes has been applied, or scan has been performed with your biometrics, and also all information will be got in terms of this. To avoid OTP scam, I will suggest use Aadhar application. In Aadhar application, there is a thing called TOTP. What is TOTP? It's a time-based OTP. So whenever we provide Aadhar number on any website, there are two options: generate a OTP, or beneath that there is an option called TOTP. Select that and provide a TOTP. What is a TOTP? It's like in your application, a OTP has been generated for 60 seconds. It's a randomly generated OTP and it's keep on changing. So it will only be available on your application. So you can use TOTP instead of OTP. So the chances of OTP scam and your swim has been swim swapping has been performed, or anything, the chances of that will become reduced, because you have been prevented from unwanted OTPs. No waiting for OTPs. Your OTP will be on the fingertips, and it's secure, because when a OTP has been generated, this has been valid for 10 minutes. But if you are taking a TOTP, it is only valid for 60 seconds, and whenever you want, you will got it on your fingertip. No waiting and anything. So instead of OTPs, start using the TOTPs. Like that, there's option TOTP, and one clock tickle clock will start once you click on that, and that OTP will be available for like 60 seconds, and you have to click on that. Just like the VID, you will got an option like this, generate a VID over it. So that is how you can safeguard, like lock your biometrics, lock your uh, Aadhar number, provide virtual IDs, and use TOTPs. Uh, that is what you have to do. And one more thing, uh, if you are traveling somewhere, so you have to showcase your Aadhar as an identity, or whenever you are going to any hotel and all, you are checking, you are providing a scanned copy, or you can say a photocopy of your Aadhar number. So what you can do in that case is, instead of providing the actual Aadhar, you will provide a masked Aadhar. There's an option where you can download the masked Aadhar, MASKED. So when you download a masked Aadhar, what will be? It will be look like this. There will be a VID will be there, but your actual Aadhar number will be in the masked format like this, XXXXX111120, like this. So your actual Aadhar number is not means the attacker or fraudster will not be able to gain the access of your actual Aadhar number, because in the masked category. So this is a way you can secure your hard copy of your Aadhar by using a masked Aadhar. Start providing the masked Aadhar to the people in the banks and all everywhere. Okay, in hotels and all, because that is a valid tender. And if your actual Aadhar number is not been mentioned, it's fine, because they need to verify this identity. It can be verified from there. If they insist, no, we want your Aadhar number and all, so just say I'm going to provide the VID, I'm not going to provide the actual Aadhar number. If you want to verify it with that, otherwise I'm not going to provide any other identity to that. So that is how you can safeguard the identity theft, if you want to provide the actual Aadhar number and actual Aadhar details too. Okay, let's start with Q&A. If you have any query or any questions related to this, like you are free to ask the question.
There are no questions yet. Swapnil, I guess we can wind up the session. Thank you so much for your wonderful session, and thank you everyone for joining us for today's webinar. We look forward for more such webinars. Thank you so much. Thank you, Swapnil.
Okay, okay. Thank you, Pratik, for organizing this session.